GOI be crunchy about Munchies. GOI is displaying and asking all its department to display clear info about the sugar, fat, and trans fat content of popular Indian snacks such as samosa and jalebi. This makes all the more glaring the inaction on labeling of packaged foods. Actually, this issue has become a litmus test for how the public health decisions are made in India. Who gets to decide what appears on front of pack labels? People whose health is at risk, bureaucrats drafting the regulations, or industry whose profits are on the line. In April, the Supreme Court highlighted the urgency of regulatory action on changes sought in FSSAI's Food Safety and Standards Labeling and Display Amendment Regulation 2022. It gave FSSAI's expert committee 3 months to prepare its report on necessary amendments required in the rules in the best interests of public health. Even as the regulator has now got a 3 month extension from SC, the latter's oral observation in April needs recalling. You all have grandchildren? Let the order on the petition come. You will know what Kurkure and Maggi are and how their wrappers should be. The packages have no information. This captures the heart of the crisis. Companies do not truthfully tell people what's in their food products. SC's directive seeks to empower people with clear and truthful information. This is a vital step towards informed choices and addressing obesity and non-communicable diseases. Most prepackaged food products are unhealthy because they're either high on sugar, salt, or fat. HFSS, or all three, according to an FSSAI commissioned study. Regulation and overconsumption of HFSS leads to obesity. India has set a target to halt rise in obesity by 2025, which is nowhere in reach. The Sugar or Oil Board's GOI is currently recommending in schools and offices do not equal warning labels on the packet itself. Science behind labels. A warning about HFSS is public health intervention. If labels glorify junk food by projecting it as real or healthy, then surely a scientifically grounded warning label is the least that consumers deserve. Front of pack warning labels have proven to be more effective than the other FOPL systems in helping consumers make healthier food choices. Indeed, it settles signs that only warning labels have real world impact in curbing HFSS consumption. There's decades of global scientific evidence linking overconsumption of HFSS foods to obesity, diabetes, hypertension, and cardiovascular diseases. Warning labels are intended not to dedicate food choices but to empower people with info to make healthier food decisions. Products such as noodles, chips, biscuits, cereal, snacks, and sugary beverages often appear healthy due to marketing. But consumers are left guessing about salt or sugar or fat content. Even Eco Survey 2024-25 recommended stringent front of pack warning label. Industry pushback. Resistance has been fierce. Some companies warn of economic ruin and rising packaging costs if front of pack labels are mandated. Industry reactions, as reported in ET, make their priorities clear. This requirement would be a double whammy during a showdown, especially in urban markets. Packaging costs will increase since the information can be stickered or stickered on existing packages. One large packaged food company bluntly claimed this would ruin the industry. Industries rich in government is captured in a case from Delhi. Front of pack labeling was proposed in 2014 by an expert committee constituted by FSSAI on the order of the Delhi High Court. In response to a PIL seeking labeling and a ban on scale of junk food in schools. 11 years ago, it's still hanging fire. Babu paralysis. Delay in implementing front of pack labeling reveals deep dysfunction. Dysfunctioning in how public health regulations are made in India. The process is full of bureaucratic opacity, regulatory capture, and lack of accountability. FSSAI is mandated to act in the interest of science and consumer safety, yet its decision making processes are rarely explained. Draft regulations are open for public comment, but the process remains symbolic at best. How are comments interpreted? What weightage is given to comments from food industry? These answers are not in public domain, possibly due to, as FSSAI says, commercial confidence, trade secrets, or intellectual property, the disclosure of which would harm the competitive position of a third party. It isn't hard to guess who the third party is. Draft regulation of 2022 would be likely amended, is based on a report that was never critically analyzed. Health activists found the process appearing rigged in favor of the food industry. FSSAI's lack of transparency erodes trust in the regulatory body. Meanwhile, industry associations have privileged access to decision makers and shape the narrative around economic impact. This asymmetry has enabled vested interests to stall and dilute or derail regulations. Right to know. In 2014, a conflict of interest framework was among the new government's priorities. But no such regulation exists for public health policy. In the absence of such safeguards, regulatory panels can include individuals or institutions with financial stakes in the outcome. This should not be acceptable. People have a right to know what they are eating is healthy or not, especially when it is an industrial product. People also have the right to demand that the health decisions be made in their interest, not that of industry, third party. Article 21 guarantees right to life that includes right to health. SC's direction is timely but will mean little if bureaucracy fails to act decisively and transparently. And FSSAI keeps delaying a front of pack warning labeling system that has a definition of HFSS. Corporations are not citizens. They don't eat. They don't fall sick. People do. Front of pack label cannot be a mere marketing tool.